The Dollmaker's Shop by Sycamore Nest. I see, you have awoken in this new world. Do not let your lack of a body bother you too much for the time being. It means that you are now free. I will ask you for your name soon, but keep what I'm about to tell you in mind. Who were you in the past does not matter. The name you were given, the weight it carries. None of that is important in this new world. So pick one to your heart's content. Perhaps you will still pick the name that you have always known yourself by. That too is a fine option. Now then, little soul, tell me who you are. My name is Jean. I see. Jean is what you have chosen. Do you know the Latin saying, "Nomen est omen"? Your name says a lot about you, and could even hint towards the future. You look confused. There's no need to be. In a few moments, you will wake up once again and see more than just this endless void. You will still have no body, but can possess objects and move them around. In the past, souls would go on a journey to find a suitable body before their next journey could start. Nowadays, however, that has become a lot easier. Find someone who can see and hear you and ask them about the Dollmaker. That is all I have to say to you. Good luck out there, little soul. The scene I woke up to when I had finally left that void behind was one of many lights and sounds. A street with neon signs left and right, under a night sky that showed little to no stars. There was no moon either, but I could tell if it did not exist in here or simply wasn't showing itself at the time. Various kinds of people moved over the pavement, chattering and smiling. It was rather crowded. I floated over the street. It appeared like my body was but a small floating shape that did or could not make contact with objects. For now, it was time to try and talk to a few passerbys. I think we took a wrong turn a little while ago, my lady. Oh, really? Are you 100% sure? Yes. We were supposed to be standing in front of a hotel with a blue sign, according to the directions. I'm sure we'll get there eventually if we just keep walking. Great. Great. People as lost as I am. I still decided to approach them. Hello? Well, if you say so. They completely ignored me. Try asking them again. I raised my voice and tried to ask them for directions again. Sorry, could I ask for some directions? Confidence, Sasha. Have some more of that, and you'll see that everything is completely fine. I know. I'm not doubting you, my lady. They moved on, passing me by without ever noticing me. It was safe to assume that these were not people who can see and hear me, as that voice mentioned. I sighed, but quickly began to look around once more. I just got unlucky this once. There was no reason to give up just yet. Hey! A person shouted at me, waving his arms around enthusiastically until I would notice him. I floated towards him. So you were having trouble trying to get your presence known. We've all been there, don't let it get to you. Okay. How come you can see me though? Like, what's the difference between those who can see me and those who can't? Well, for beginners, they're not souls, but you and I are. That difference aside, only living people who are spiritually sensitive usually find out about our presence, and that in varying degrees. But once you have a body like I do, you can still talk to them as much as you like. Wait, you're like me? But you don't look like you possessed an object. You look alive. Ah, thanks! You should have heard of the Dollmaker by now, right? Yeah, a voice told me. Good. Not all Souls guides are kind enough to share that information. He's probably the only person who can make a body like this. I heard it was such a huge game changer for the long-term Souls here. So, where can I find him? Oh, right. That's the most important question here. He turned around and pointed at the large red sign in the distance. See that sign? There's an alley just past it. If you take the first street to your left, then you should bump right into it. It looks kinda old, mostly brown exterior with some large windows. Thank you, the name's Kai. Thanks, Kai. I'm Jean. No problem at all. Maybe we'll see each other around again, Jean. If so, you're gonna have to tell me your name again first, cause you'll probably have a cool body by then. I hope so. Bye for now. Bye-bye. With an improved mood, I decided to follow Kai's directions to this mysterious Dollmaker. I passed the sign, entered the small alley, and continued until I found the first street on my left. I looked around for a little while, searching for the building that matched the description I was given. And indeed, I found a little old-looking shop. There was still light inside, so I assumed it was open for business. But right when I approached the shop, someone came walking out. It was an odd figure. He wore a large wizard hat, and his clothes were vastly different from the clothes I'd seen other people wear. Little stars dangled from his hat, swinging along with every slight movement. In his arms he carried a sign. I couldn't read all of it, but in large letters I could see "closed" on it. He hummed a simple tune as he placed down the sign. That now clearly conveyed the shop would be closed for a full week. Oh no, I whined. It wasn't supposed to be loud enough for anyone to hear, but this wizard proved otherwise. He turned around to face the source of the noise. Oh, I don't think I've seen you before. A surprisingly young voice. I wanted to make eye contact, but the upper half of his face was concealed behind the mask. It appears you've come at a bad time to enter my little shop. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to start whining right away. There's no need to be sorry. This is quite the streak of bad luck. Are you new here? Or did you decide that today's the day you want to get a brand new body? No, I just arrived here. I was told you could help me. And that I can. But what to do? There's so much I still need to prepare, so little time left. Offer to help. What is it you need to prepare? Maybe I could help. Do you suggest we help each other then? That's kind of you. Fine. If you lend me a hand with the preparations, I can offer you a body. For now. I don't have time to make a custom one, but you're free to come by again for that when I open my shop again next week. There are enough leftover materials to give you some options though, so don't worry about it too much about receiving a body that does not suit you. Okay, that works for me. What exactly should I do to help you? Let's discuss that inside, That ought to be more comfortable than out here in the streets. Okay. The Dollmaker held the door open for me, and it closed behind him again as he followed me inside. Welcome to my humble little shop, or the first part of it at least. It didn't quite look like I'd expected. There were so many shelves with all sorts of decorative items on them. A bit of everything, so to say, but no signs of actual dolls. Is this where you make bodies? No, not exactly. I do that in the back, and store materials and extra decorations here. It is a little more welcoming than having artificial body parts all over the place. Can't imagine why. I placed down a couch as well and wanted to offer a drink for my clients, but that didn't turn out too well, since you can't really sit down or consume anything. But I hope it's a little to your liking at least. It is! That's good to hear. Now then, what may I call you? You can just call me Jean. Jean. That's a really nice name. You may refer to me as the Dollmaker, since that seems to be the name everyone here knows me by. Normally, I would listen to your request for a body and put it together within a few days, but we're both on a little time constraint here. Wait, it takes a few days? Of course. I would only offer the finest quality, and that is unusually not created within a day. What do souls do while they wait then? They usually explore the city. There are enough places to visit to fill multiple days with. But since I'm closed for a full week, that would leave you without a body for too long. And this world only gets new souls a few times a month. Your timing was rather unlucky, since I don't close shop often out of worry that I will leave souls waiting. Or maybe you were lucky after all, since you came by in the nick of time. In any case, make yourself comfortable, take a look around. I'll bring you some parts so you can pick whatever you like. Wasn't I supposed to help you out first? Now, there's not much helping to be done without a body, is there? Right. I know you couldn't just bolt out once you have what you want, but I'll put some trust in you. I wouldn't do that. I won't run off on you. I promised that I would help. You're a kind soul. What are the preparations for, anyhow? They're for tonight's celebrations. And those celebrations, what are those for? Halloween, of course! A special night where the spirit world and the human world overlaps, and then they get to meet once again. In this world does not work like that though. It already exists as a sort of in-between place for unsatisfied souls who want to experience more, and living beings who like to live here for various reasons. I moved here then when I decided I would use my magic for the souls here, and brought the event of Halloween with me. Most souls here love to party. Additionally, they seem to have a lot of gratitude towards me for the work I do. So, we do this every year. It's been a pretty big success so far. Now, give me a minute. Huh? Even though he looked eccentric, he turns out to be pretty nice so far. Like he suggested, I floated through the room and took a better look at many items inside. Even though this was the first part of the store, it was surprisingly large. Which place should I check out? Lounge area. There was a smaller area with a couch that the wizard had mentioned before, and a coffee table along with it. Even if souls couldn't really use it, maybe he would use it instead. There would be little reason to keep it around if not. On the coffee table, I found a large carved pumpkin. If I'd seen this before, maybe I could have guessed on my own that it was nearly time for Halloween. It was so simple, yet my eyes were drawn to it. So, did you find anything interesting? I hadn't even noticed him re-enter the room. He was carrying many parts from the workshop with him. Yeah, you could say that. Good. If you have any additional ideas, you could always tell me. Bring up what you saw earlier. Actually, I might have one. I saw something interesting just now. It may sound a little silly, but I saw this carved pumpkin on the coffee table. Oh yes! The one that I made earlier today. I've been busy carving those all day as decorations for later. So, what's your idea? Pumpkinhead. I want a pumpkinhead. Eh? I'm sorry, I knew it was a silly idea. No, not at all. It was just a little unexpected. I like the way you think. You're a very creative person, aren't you? I'll have to see how I can make it work, but it shouldn't be too hard. Yay, I can't wait. And you're aware that you're going to be walking around with a pumpkin head for a few days after Halloween too? I nodded, but soon realized that wasn't possible in my current form. Yes sir, if possible, I want the body to be as tall and spooky. I'll be the Pump King. My, you're excited about the pumpkin thing, huh? If you'd like, you can watch me put everything together for you. The Dollmaker placed all the plastic body parts he'd be carrying around with him. Then he picked up a carved pumpkin on the table. Don't worry about its expression. With a little magic, I can make it so that you can give it any expression you'd like. With growing excitement, I watched the wizard assemble all the body parts into a body suited for one and only pumpkin to be. There we go, all ready for you to get into. It looks perfect. Thank you so much. Why, it was a pleasure to make this on such a short notice. Go on, possess this new vessel of yours, and I'll link you to it with some magic. If I'm linked to it, can I still get out of that body? Of course. Being linked to it simply means that other souls can't possess it, and that you'll be able to let it mimic your own expressions. Wow, that's pretty useful. Let's do this then. I floated towards this pumpkin-headed vessel and went inside. The feeling of possessing an object was indescribable. It was like learning how to move all over again. I didn't know what to do. Luckily, it rested against the couch, unable to fall over unless I made some real haphazard movements. Alright, don't stress out. It may be hard to move right away, but after this spell, it will feel just like having a real living body. He lifted up a hand and placed it onto the body. He recited lines of text in a language that I could not understand nor recognize. Light came from my palms of his hand and enveloped the body, my body, underneath. When the light faded again, it didn't look like anything had changed. It was when I brought up my head to feel a large pumpkin making up my head that I realized I could move everything perfectly fine. It really worked! Of course it did. I'd been doing this for quite a long time. Come on. Let me help you with your preparations now. Can't wait for the party to begin. Whoa there! Your excitement has skyrocketed now. Take it easy. There's quite a few things that need to be carried to the party. I'll handle the fragile things while you get used to this new body of yours. Let me know if you feel weird or have any problems. I'll make sure to fix you right up. Got it! The two of us spent the rest of the evening working together to set up all the decorations at the location the Dollmaker had chosen, right next to a forest. He told me more about this world too, how the sun only came up one week per year, the people who lived here besides souls, and how he'd ended up working in this world. Even if us helping each other out was supposed to be an equivalent exchange, I couldn't help but feel like I was here for a good time the whole evening. The moon had risen high up into the sky by the time we finished everything. Some light already came out of my Pumpkinhead, and some of the lamps was decorated the area. But everything became even clearer when he lit a large bonfire in the middle of the field. Thank you all for your help, Jean. I'm sure this will be a wonderful celebration. It's the least I could do. After all you've done for me today, I feel like there's more I could do. In fact, I'll make completely sure that this is the greatest Halloween celebration ever. I'll show all the attendants that the Pumpkin is here at last. Oh, you want to cause some scares tonight? You sure are an interesting little soul. Just enjoy the party. Maybe scaring others is not the right way to put it. I wouldn't want to upset your guests, so I'll just make sure they have loads of fun. That sounds good to me. We'll both have a lovely time, won't we? Of course! The party attracted an even larger crowd than I had anticipated. However, with the Dollmaker nearby to check up on me every now and then, I had loads of fun. I got to know new people. I got complimented on the vessel I had chosen. After that night, I knew that the second life I'd been given would be a good one to cherish. There was nothing more I could wish for, as for now. The end. The Dollmaker's Shop, a Spooktober Jam submission by Sycamore Nest. Art, GUI design, writing by Umbros at Sycamore's Nest. Backgrounds were created with images from pexels.com. Music, main menu theme by Jordy Hake, opengameart.org. City theme by OMFG Dude, opengameart.org. Shop theme by Migfus20, opengameart.org. Credits theme by Tad Miller, opengameart.org. Eerie Techno Game Open and Stepping Out by Eric Matias, soundimage.org. Thank you for playing.